Yes, once again, I say good morning to all of you. Of course, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This morning, a very quick one. I want to look at the issue or a message I simply titled, "Let us be realistic and avoid being insensitive." Let us be realistic and avoid being insensitive. It's important I elaborate on that word, realistic. It simply means having a sensible and practical idea of what can be expected by representing things in the way that is accurate and true to life. When we say be realistic, you're simply being asked to be sensitive and practical with your ideas, understanding what is to be expected, what can be achievable, making sure that you represent everything accurately in a way that is true to life. My message this morning simply goes to two people: the current president of Nigeria, and as well as the eastern region of Nigeria. When I say let's be realistic, a lot of things happen around our lives. We pretend we are going to have our way. No, the world is growing. Things are changing. And believe me, things will not always end in the way the master's planners has initiated it. But if indeed, as Nigerians, you are fighting for the progress, for the peace, for the development of Nigeria, the well-being of all Nigerians, we need to be realistic and stop deceiving ourselves. We have been able to develop certain abilities that enable us understand the mindset behind people's action. And this has been a great influence in everything we do. First of all, those of you who are celebrating Ida Kabel, I say happy Salah to all of you. But let me go straight to the point this morning. Chinua Achebe once said, "He that fetched an ant-infested firewood should expect to be visited by the lizard." When you bring an ant-infested firewood in your compound, understand lizard will visit you. A lot of people are on social media promoting the government of the day, past government, and encouraging new government to come in the future. But are they really realistic? Are we really realistic in what we are doing? We lately called for political participation. What is actually the full implication of participating in politics? And you see, in the front of everything we are doing or we have done so far, it's obvious that we are not realistic. We are not presenting the real idea compared to the true way of life. We are not even ready for the outcome. But of course, we cannot begin to only accustom blame. But sometimes we make our opinion known. Sometimes we see how we can affect positively to the current damaged structures, to the current biased nation already, to the current oppressed, corrupt, and frustrated people of Nigeria. And of course, we look at the area that concerns us as Eastern region. Let me re-emphasize. Amalgamation of 1914 talks about three ethnic groups, which is the Oduduwa, the Arewa, and the Igbos. They fully understand that the Oduduwa have other tribes, though homogeneously, but different in certain aspects of their life. It's applicable to Arewa. And so if you are from the Igbo extraction, don't say, "Oh, I'm Urubu, I'm not there. I'm Ishekiri, I'm not there." When the time comes, you will know where you are. I love digressing when I make presentation. It gives room for you to learn certain things you are not prepared for. In my last broadcast, I talked about the Benin Empire. And then supposedly from a guy from Benin said I was lying. How can I say the current Edo state is part of the ancient Benin Empire? And honestly, I love being a kind of civil in some of my discussion when you are making sense. But when it's obvious that you are not making sense, I respond to you adequately. And now let me correct that impression before we move on. We were talking about Biafra being part of the ancient empire. He deviated from what we were saying and started drawing issues that don't make sense. Were there anything like the Benin Empire, or they were nothing like the Benin Empire? Do we ever have something like the Zamfara Empire? Did you ever have something like the Zulu Empire? Did you ever have something like the Biafra Empire? Let's leave other stories surrounding it for now. Because when you say Biafra does not exist, is fake, is this, you are deceiving yourself. But how we go about it is very, very important. It is not realistic. It has taken more ground from us than we can anticipate. And so this is just to make everybody know the simple truth. Know the truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You can surround yourself with liars. You will fall like Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter who you are. Nnamdi Kanu is struggling now to be relevant. He's struggling and wishing he could have his former throne of ivory. He's late. He has murdered sleep. He cannot go to bed. But are we setting trap for our people so that they emerge and feel? That far be it from it. And so when I come on this platform to make my presentation, I need you to focus on the main point of the whole discussion. The people of Nigeria must be realistic and avoid being insensitive. Coming back to the issue, one of the main issues why I come on air this morning, I took time yesterday to listen to the renaming of airports across Nigeria. And believe me, as far as the new president of Nigeria is concerned, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is concerned, I don't have issue with him. The reason I don't have issue with him is that there are 3 people I know who have ruled Nigeria, or should I say 4.5, who do not have hand in the current mess you call Nigeria. Number 1 is Yar'Adua. He's the half, because his elder brother is among the 11 generals who created this confusion and destroyed everything that will make us to be happy as a people. I have something against all of them. Ojukwu and all his men, Aguyoronsi, Chukwuma Kaduna and Zogo, Buhari, all of them inclusive, they formed this Nigeria that we have to sacrifice innocent people to keep going. Late Yar'Adua, his elder brother is among the 11 generals. Most of you will not know. So if his elder brother have not drank tea and died, he would have been the president. In fact, it is his position that his younger brother Yar'Adua enjoyed. But that late Yar'Adua is a good man. I wish he had more time to rule Nigeria for 8 years. And then you have Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He's just a neutral man. You have Shenikon, who was an interim president. He's a neutral man. And then you have the current president of Nigeria, Ahmed Tinubu. And so far, everything he has done as a president. I come out here and I applaud it when it is right. I was very happy when he arrested even my own brother, Emefiele, the former governor of Central Bank. I was happy because whatever they did was not on the interest of Nigeria. Whatever both of them have done, past and present government, is not for the interest of the masses. But of course, there are things to benefit from it later on. This is a pure evidence or example of what is known as personality clash. Emefiele, under the influence of late President Buhari, wanted to teach Tinubu lesson, the current president of Nigeria. And Tinubu, on the other hand, is taking it personal. He must revenge Emefiele. Whatever Emefiele gets, that is what he deserved. Because inhumanly, what Emefiele did to the people of Nigeria, he should go back and begin to ask God for forgiveness. Because I'm sure he won't find it in heaven. Except he apologized to the people. Insensitivity of leadership. Leaders must be very careful. They must be objective, realistic in what they are doing, and avoid being insensitive. We can see the other appointment as the president is trying to arrange the country. We believe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to repair Nigeria. And this is what we ask for. But in the midst of trying to repair Nigeria, he's not the only one making the decision. He has friends and well-wishers. He has people he confides in. And in most cases, he may not even be the one who is implementing, writing all these policies and the rest of it. But you see, if he failed to be insensitive, if the Yoruba fails to be insensitive, and at least advise their brother for the good of the one Nigeria we crave for, the time will come. Don't forget, he that invites ant-infested firewood in his compound should expect the visit of the lizard. It's too early to applaud President Tinubu, and it's too early to accuse him. But when we see them going wrong, we will call them to order. We will bring their mind to the area they are not thinking about. Because I was once taught that the road that leads to heaven, to hellfire, is paved with good intention. Most people who will go to hellfire are not going to hellfire because they are sinners. Most sins committed against humanity were not done as a result of sheer wickedness. Most of them were actually done by good intention. So those of you surrounding President Tinubu, if you truly love Nigeria, help that man to deliver a new Nigeria. Because some of you, this is what you think. You say, who is even this guy talking? Let's arrest him. Let's kill him. Let's bring him down. My guy, you cannot. The Bible says that the whole world was let loose against the Son of God. But just that they did not find iniquity in him. What we do in life echoes into eternity. And it's as simple as that. And so when we pass some of this message, understand it is purely for the best good of our people. Some of you, I watch all the bloggers. I want to see who will talk about it. None of you are talking about it. And I listen to a radio channel who spent almost 2 hours analyzing that issue. I can see the heartbroken of that presenter. And what were they talking about? The renaming of airports in Nigeria by the current administration under President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. He says excellency. Let it look as if I don't respect him. He picked some airports from the West where he come from. He named them after prominent members of the West. Who in his moral senses, who in his right mind can challenge such a decision? Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you did well. Because Yoruba have people. I was even thinking the name of Abiola will appear in one of them. Yoruba have people. I was thinking people like Ganiu Adam. I was thinking maybe people like Akintoye. All these Yoruba heavyweight. It's okay. You went to the north. You appointed northerners. Rename them over the new airport as selected. But you came to the east. Whether you like, say it's south. Whether you like, say it's I can only address or refer my issue based on 3 regions in Nigeria. When it is time for every ethnic nationality to showcase themselves on this leadership pavilion, then I'm sure Nigeria is not ready for it. But let's go by that so that we can be able to drive our message home. You came to Port Harcourt and you named Port Harcourt International Airport Obafemi Awolowo International Airport. No blogger, no one Nigerianist have said anything. No. Now, this is where the problem begins. Bola Ahmed Tinubu may endorse. It may be, let us try luck. But if you are trying luck, that trying luck, you are being very insensitive. Governor Wike will not challenge you. Because of course, he's expecting that this current administration will favor him. Chibuike Amechi will not challenge you. Because he still believes there is a lot to benefit from one Nigeria. And then, who does Rivers State have that will challenge the government and question such decision? They will only talk and keep quiet. But the next generation of those Rivers State indigenes, they have started asking questions already. Does it mean the whole Rivers State don't have a dull man, somebody who they are proud of? And those who said they should name the airport in Rivers State after Obafemi Awolowo, can you people be sensitive enough to tell me what is the contribution of Obafemi Awolowo to the Eastern region? In fact, okay, what exactly one thing did the Obafemi Awolowo do for Rivers State indigene? I thought we have people like Ken Saruwiwa. I thought we have people like Obiwale. I thought we have people like Navy Captain Eliti Martin. I think, as ignorant as I am, uneducated as I am, I know the names of virtually men of the people from across Nigeria. I know all of them, irrespective of what they do. And now the only way to let the people know you represent one Nigeria is to be sensitive enough to understand that what is good for the goose is good for the ganja. I think to some of you, it's okay. It doesn't mean what we want is progress. My brother, onwifwana se obere nsi na-eme bike. Na small shit na they spoil nyash. Those of you who are close to the president, encourage him to change that thing. I noticed on that radio program, more than 80% of the callers were insisting that that airport should be named after Ken Saruwiwa. But you see, that is the reason agitation came out in the first place. That is why we followed one rogue, Colonel Nnamdi Kanu, to call for referendum or division of Nigeria. Because any of us who complain about what is being done to us as a result of personality clash between the supposedly founding father of Nigeria, you call us terrorists, you nickname us, and some people want us to believe that let us live in fear. We've been living in the prison of fear for God's sake. And you see, the gate has been broken. We will not do that anymore. We will only tell you the truth. When the time is right, God will do what no man cannot do. Because as it is, as a result of beneficiaries around the world, Nigeria may not see this light because we are insensitive. Everybody trying to undermine each other's credibility. Though we have a very long way to go, believe me, we're putting up our standard already. Yes, they can't name it after Ken Saruwiwa. Why? Ken Saruwiwa was a good Nigeria, a very wonderful Nigeria, one of the best Nigeria we know. And during the war, he supported Nigeria. The fall of Biafra was even more than the support of Saruwiwa to make sure Nigeria remain. People like Adakaburu, Magnus Abia, and the rest of them, they gave Nigeria their best. But along the line, Ken Saruwiwa say Nigeria say, come and claim our land, Bill of Rights. ONYIBE is damaging our land. Come and claim our land. He didn't ask for anything more than that. But the people who are eating that money, till today after the death of Ken Saruwiwa till now, Ogoni cleaned up was not there. That was the preamble of election campaign. We will do Ogoni clean up. We will do Ogoni clean up. Please send somebody to live among the Ogonis. You see, a people living by water don't have water to drink. And so Nigeria found Ken Saruwiwa guilty and they killed him and he died, let's say by the justice. So why would they name the airport after him? It will only show that yes, Nigeria agree that what is bad. And then let's talk about Obiwale. Why wouldn't they name it after Obiwale? You see, there are untold stories about what led to the death of Obiwale. But all this group of people met their problem because they supported the idea of one Nigeria. And when it was time for Nigeria to play her own part, Nigeria would not deliver. And so instead, all these people were hunted down one after the other. Among all these groups for the current day South, who supported the idea of one Nigeria, only one of them escaped. And that is because when he saw the game, he played low and allowed himself to be completely absorbed. And that is Navy Captain Elechi Martin. The rest of his colleagues, all of them are gone, including Adakaburu. But why am I saying this? Look for one Ikwere man, we don't know the name, one Kalabari man, one Okereka man, but nobody will tell you this thing. Oh. The people that will tell you cannot tell you. Have I told you that Tinubu did bad? But it looks like it's tribalism. But if it's not tribalism, all of you trying to defend every evil so that they can send you recharge card and praise you. Please, let them name Oyo State Airport after Chibo or Kadibo. Let them name Sokoto Airport as we speak now after one Okezie Ekpazo. And then come and take one Adamu Faruku and name him after Delta State Airport. Let us see if anybody will feel bad. Now understand, we are being ruled by the barrier of gun. Even in democracy, whether civilian or military era, we are not ruled by the constitution. And so people are afraid to say. I've not come to condemn the government of the day, but I've come to remind them that they need to be sensitive. Nigerian politicians, leaders, those around Tinubu, no now get that insensitivity. Because you see, it takes a single message or information to be released. And once the people accept it, you have no idea what the power of unity can do. It may not be too late. It may be too late. But personally, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu should look around river people and then appoint somebody from, let it be named after somebody from River State. The people will be happy. Or if there is nothing, change it to our Sama name. Let's know it's the same era we are in. Let us not be insensitive. No river child that is aware. In fact, more than 70% of river people don't know what is going on. And you see, since they don't know, they will not say anything. The rumor is still low. And then, by the time you change that name, they begin to ask questions. That land belongs to Ipo and Omagwa people. They will begin to ask questions. And then from Isiokpo local government, they will begin to tell their relatives in Obiakpo, to Faga, and to other local government. And then everybody will know. And people will begin to ask questions. And that time it may be too late to change. And then you will call them sensationalists. You will call them different names. But you see, the truth is the truth. You can tell the whole world lie about why we do what we do. But you see, the world already know. And in the back of our heart, we know we are doing the right thing. Let me rephrase. When we walk with Nnamdi Kanu, we thought he had the problem, the concern of our people in his heart. We really loved what he was doing. Forget about the abuses, forget about the insult, forget about the rest of it. It was actually a way to get people's attention. But as we progress, as everybody have seen the lies, the truth, and it was time to harmonize the whole process. The criminal collected money and start speaking with both sides of his mouth. We tried to call him to order. He refused. We tried to point him. No, this is not to kill Nigeria. This is not to kill anybody. This is not to victimize anybody. This is to address our problem. Like this morning, a egg of discord, internal hatred is booming already. It will harsh. There were eras of one Nigeria where somebody will wake up and tell you that Abuja International Airport is Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. There was something different when somebody will come out and tell you that all those stuff and this is not the era. This is the era for the leadership to make Nigerian citizens, irrespective of where you come from, to know that yes, Nigeria accepts all of us. That Nigeria is for all of us. But most people who would have addressed this issue, they hope to benefit from your government. They won't talk about it. But you see, this is how it all started. The reason why you are not hearing any complaint now is that it didn't happen in the east, southeast. Let us assume that Ebonyi State Airport was named after Obafemi Awolowo. You would have given credibility to all the agitating so far. Don't let agitation rise from the south. What you do is double-edged sword. You will only give reason for the whole of the south and southeast to reunite, which we eagerly wish and pray for. But let it not be on the expense to resist the supposed perceived oppressor. But we pray it be for the purpose of developing our region. Because the last time I checked, what that Enugu man is suffering from in Nigeria is what I'm suffering from. The difference between me and that my brother in the southeast is that most of their leaders will easily compromise on the expense of the next generation. And where I come from, as poor as we are, as hopeless as we are, as uneducated as we are, and so we must be realistic in what we are doing. We must be realistic. And then on the other aspect, our people must understand. If you come online and demean the personalities, the influence, integrity of your region, my brother, it will not take you anywhere. We have called out evil for a very long time. The only evil prevailing in our land today is the evil of IPOB. It takes away credibility from every form of protest. It takes credibility from every form of agitation. It takes credibility from every means of registering displeasure before the current day Nigeria. Because the moment they tag you unknown gunmen, the moment they tag you ESN, you will die without query. And so I call on the people in the eastern region. You are the one that is left behind. I can come out and talk about Yoruba tribalism, but tribalism have helped them to survive in Nigeria. Why can't you do that tribalism in the east? Let's see if it will help us to survive. I can call upon the Hausas and call their name, but they've moved on. They moved on. But then you come to the east. Everybody is just running mad. All of them have sense. All of them have sense. When you see them coming to talk in your favor, you will think they love you. You Udochie, you want to be relevant. You now say, oh, I call for release of Nnamdi Kanu, releasing Nnamdi Kanu. But Pete Udochie have enough sense. She advise his son to get himself out. All of you who will support Nnamdi Kanu, you will be disgraced. We told you. We said, let's get involved, political participation. These were some of the things we're supposed to be doing. Take a review on what our governors are doing and call them to order. But most of the people who come to do political participation only ended up collecting money from P2B. We don't give shishi. They don't give shishi. But if you know the shishi P2B give them, most of you will begin to pray for shishi. Of course, it's not P2B money. It is still you, gullible Eastern people. You contribute money because you thought P2B is going to emerge winner. They were sharing money on propaganda, lies and deceit. Let you people start carrying evidence to court. Watch the most successful people on earth. They were not unique in themselves, except for the single fact that they refused to give up. Just watch somebody like Michael Jordan. He has played basketball for many years. He missed many shots. They removed him. He failed and failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. Michael Jordan refused. Why? Because the end actually pays off. Today, when you talk about the history of basketball, that name rings bell. There's a book known as Larry Potter or something like that. I understand that woman, for 12 times, that book was turned down. They refused to publish it. But look at the sales he made. She failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. Do we talk about Nikola Tesla? Do we talk about Thomas Edison? Do we talk about people who fail and fail and fail? But the unique thing there is that as they continue doing it and failing, that will show them how to succeed. So if you succeed, it simply means that you have learned how to fail. We have made different approach to the Nigerian mentality and mindset. Whenever this evil plant was planted in Nigeria, I was not born. And I will not come out here and justify any of these things, but rather to say we have come to the end of that era. Let the new era begin. How will this new era begin? How do we change this circumstance we find ourselves? Let us assume he played neutral. He called for a restructure, which led them to a Aburi Accord in Ghana, supposedly. The end result was war. He failed because after 3 years, Biafra was reabsorbed into Nigeria. And then at the end of that era, you now have people like Kansar Wiwa. He fought from another end, the Bill of Rights. He failed. We have Niger Delta, militants. They failed. You can name and name and name. Chidioka, he's still suffering the same thing. They all failed. But the question should be, why are all these attempts made? In fact, the latest one is Nnamdi Kanu. With every sacrifice, with every investment, with everything that has been done, he failed. How did he fail? The love of money took over him. Now, you will be naive or ignorant to ever think that all these agitation are coming up because these people were greedy. It's a means of registering their displeasure. It's evidence that there are political imbalance. It's evidence that there are people aiding and abetting criminality and other hopelessness within our region. And when the people are displeased, they react. But we keep failing. If we stop, we've accepted our fate. And that is how it's going to be. And the next generation will think that is how it is. That is why you see the current day Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari borrowed million from IMF. And just recently, the current president is going to receive a loan of $500 million from the World Bank. And I was saying, no, is it Buhari that borrowed this? Buhari. But if according to Tinubu's wife, that his husband does not need Nigeria money to fix Nigeria, why they don't reject that money? And those of you who want Nigeria, why don't you ask them, what is the collateral of all this money they are borrowing? And if they will take oil subsidy, remove all our, increase NEPA tariff, everything, collect it from us, why borrowing money? The people who will build Nigeria, they will have to cut down the expenses, the money spent on politicians. The people who want to build Nigeria, they may starve Nigerians, but there will be evidence for that development. All the billions borrowed in the past 2 decades, where are the evidence? Oh, you tied 3 roads in Federal Capital Territory. That's the evidence. Or the one oil company are building under your state. You claim you are the one doing it. Let's be realistic. So when we talk about political participation, maybe these people are not seeing clearly. Where does the government of the day even have the opportunity to liaise with the people they are leading? Who are your monarch representing your community? Who are they? Who are your governors? Are they the people mandate? Who is in your National Assembly? And when Orji Okalu was crying the other day, for the first time, a brave man crying, Nigeria is not fair. Nigeria is not fair. You think he was crying for you? He was crying to be Senate president, which eventually is in Akpabio's hand. But you see, if it were given to Orji Okalu, more seed of discord will be sown. Because Akwa Ibom man now will say, no problem. But Orji Okalu wept, not for the Igbos, for his personal gain. What did he do in Abia? What did he do in Abia? And of course, the Bayelsa Airport, for instance, was named after J.P. Spence. He has his fault. He has his mistake. But that man is one of the greatest Nigerians that has ever lived. I have my reason. Most of these people, when I talk, I give them credibility. It's not because of what we see on social media. I am close to JT Spence that he don't even know me. All his wife, I know them. The first wife is a Yoruba woman. The daughter of Charles Dele. They own Charles Dele Academy or institution. I played a vital role in some of their educational sector. I know the man problem then was trying to develop River State. Some suppose that one Nigeria don't want him to do that. He was retired to Brass where he became Amayanabo. He's still alive. And I don't think any Bayelsa person will come out and say, no, this man don't deserve it. Let's not be insensitive. If I should come on social media and tell you how great Nigeria is, how loving Nigeria is, I'll be proud because for now, I'm going to call myself Nigeria. But I can't identify with your stupidity, hopelessness, hypocrisy. So you love me? Your love means nothing to me if it's not actually geared towards preserving all that is around me. You love me, you hate my father. You are an idiot. You love me, you hate my children. You are very hopeless. You love me and you hate my village people. Get out. But of course, what is love in its definition? It is not the love that showcases itself. It is that inner ability to wish others well. A man told a story of what happened in the zoo. He went out with his wife to the zoo. And when they got to the cage where monkeys were hiding or monkeys were kept, the man monkey was busy combing and romancing and wooing and all over the woman monkey. And the wife said to the husband, you see how this monkey is showing love to the wife? The man kept quiet and took the wife to another cage where you have the lion. The lion stood far away from the lioness and pretend as if not to notice the lioness. And then the woman said to the man, just look at this lion. He's not sensitive. He don't have love for the wife. The man said, okay, let me show you the difference between the both of them. They took a stone and threw to the lioness. And if you see the way the lion rose up in defense of the lioness, and the man said, that is love. And they went back to the cage of the lover boy monkey or lover monkey animal and threw the stone to the female monkey. The man monkey jumped, he almost ran out of the cage. And the man said, you see, why am I saying all this? Love cannot be expressed in a single word. If you say you are a leader, you love one Nigeria, you must behave like the lion, not a monkey. You must show you truly care for everybody. You can't set double standard and tell us you are building one Nigeria. You are a hypocrite. In as much as it looks as if we have no choice at this moment, we accept everything you do. But to show we are not setting trap for anybody, we keep showing you, pointing out the pitfall to all of you. Those of you in the eastern region who believe in propaganda, who believe in lying, continue with the propaganda. Go to Aside Hot, the channel that is sustaining Nnamdi Kanu lie under Darlington. Go there now. What they are telling you is, look at this person. He betrayed Nnamdi Kanu. He's a sabo. Go to Darlington page now. He's listing the name of Igbo people that betrayed Nnamdi Kanu. The next thing they will do, Benjamin Madubugu and China Sanguru, they will give order to unknown government. They're coming for those people. And most of you are there, they are saboteur. Biafra must surely come. We will come for them. Thunder fire all of them. No, go to Darlington page now. But the question is, everybody has offended Nnamdi Kanu. Ike na one on any offended Nnamdi Kanu. Uchoka from Efo offended Nnamdi Kanu. Clifford Iruanya offended Nnamdi Kanu. Every known human being, everybody including George ONYIBE, all of us offended Nnamdi Kanu. Despite the fact he took us to different shrines to take oath to defend Biafra, we all offended the idiot, the animal. I want to be relevant inside Nigeria. You are way back behind your dreams. And then when most of your leaders want to make a fool of you, they're like, oh, they listen to the Kanu. Oh, I was listening to Ijele broadcast this morning, and he was playing the audio of Benjamin Madubugu that is indirectly acknowledging that Nnamdi Kanu is the sponsor of unknown gunmen. But let them not worry. We are waiting to see the outcome of Nnamdi Kanu activity. So we break the camel's back once and for all. Ijele asked a question, and most people were not sensitive enough to know what he was pointing out to. Benjamin Madubugu said, I want to go and see Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS so that he will talk to me and then I can deliver his message, because those people causing madness in the southeast, they are not obeying or listening to the lawyers because they think the lawyers are not saying the truth. But when I get the word from Nnamdi Kanu and tell our killer squad, the unknown gunmen, the ESM and other criminal gang, they will now cool down. So you now agree that unknown gunmen is the handwork of Nnamdi Kanu. But of course, he has shot himself already. Benjamin has actually agreed. Psychologically, those who know what is obtainable know that Benjamin Madubugu just made everybody to know or give you first-hand information that Nnamdi Kanu is there. Why will unknown gunmen believe a barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, whose wife is working with the DSS? Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, who is the Northern Rep, IPOB family. Why would they listen to Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, who look for people that will make his bank account increase? And you know, one of the problems I have with these people is I don't will money to their account. You see, the truth is that I never knew such amount of millions were going through IPOB platform. I never knew. And so they were accusing me of embezzling money. I never knew. But when I look at myself, I'm very poor, still trying to recover what I've lost all these years. And then people are accusing me of eating money. I never knew there were billions moving there. Look at Barrister Ejiofor. Just look at him. They call him Caro White. A man who will sit down and talk about who to betray. Tell Barrister Ejiofor all the audio he called to tell me to remain in IPOB, what on the candidate. Tell him I recorded all of them. I have all of them. Thunder will fire all of you. When problem came, I told Barrister Ejiofor, let's assume he's a lawyer, legal representative, would have told his client, stop this. They were all coming behind to shun me down. Idiots everywhere. So why would they believe such a man? Or you think our people who know the truth are not listening to me? The people who made mistake and follow that criminal, all of them know. Don't think this broadcast is just for one Nigeria. I only pointed out to Tinubu one error. That error is grievous. That is naming Port Harcourt International Airport to Obafemi Awolowo. That is error. Anything he like, let him do. Time shall tell. But the main thing is to focus on our people. Let them stop their hopelessness and criminality. Very good people, allowing themselves to be mesmerized by certain low-life animals who live in deceit and prove they are what they are not. No, look at it. Why will unknown government listen to them? Now the Kano ended up looking for money. They betrayed them one after the other. They begin to send them to kill one another. And if not for the intervention of one of the people you call your enemy, by now all of you in the southeast would have run out. Because to now the Kano, he has set up every morning, every night, he has set up. Where is it now? A tree cannot make a forest. Benjamin Madubugu is losing his ground gradually. All those Anambra millionaires supporting him, it will dawn on all of you. Let's talk to Nnamdi Kanu. The game he was playing is outdated. In fact, when I was arrested by the DSS, and they were laying emphasis on the activities of Niger Delta Avengers, they actually was thinking I'm one of the Oga of Niger Delta Avengers. And they were telling me that they understand how we function and compare what we were doing to what the South Africans did. This was all in a bid to unlock me to know what I know. They told me when Nelson Mandela was held in Liberty Island, in Kaminikado, his men on ground were doing miracle, according to Nnamdi Kanu. They couldn't stop them because he has told them what to do. Peradventure, he is arrested. How many years? Even 27 years later, the boys stick to their word. What a man. And not only the issue of Nelson Mandela was addressed, hostility against the white community in South Africa did not stop. And the only way to stop it is that apartheid issue was addressed. And then everybody laid down their arm. None of them were kidnapping, looking for money. They focused, they were very objective. Now the Kanu took all the instruments that would have liberated us. What did he do? He started hunting us down. He started poisoning us. From poisoning, he will set us against each other. From setting us against each other, he will even set us up to Nigerian government. Yes, there is a man called Onwukwe Nwanze. He's in Anambra State. There is Ruby Matthew. There is one called Akwara. He was the one setting us up through his sister and the Nigerian police. Now, those of you who say love one Nigeria, love one Nigeria, how can Nigeria be forming Biafra to kill our people? And our people are supporting the supposed Biafra. Why? Who is deceiving who here? Ono wane we jishi anya kpato makasa maka nono racho nono woso nono amareki here. Ndị omeni anyi kwoku anyi jueson ya le se fasa karacha poa. Where the jishi anya kpato makasa unde atonro eju ebele chane. Eju wa Kenya. You are just entered the wilderness. That's your problem. And if what they did in Rivers State work, if naming of Port Harcourt International Airport to Obafemi Awolowo stand, maybe before the end of this tenure, many airports in the southeast will be named after Yoruba or Hausa man. And the yardstick for judicial to discharge their judgment will be based on the single fact that Rivers State people didn't say anything. But why can't we be sincere to us? Nigeria, be sincere to your citizen. Then, Eastern region, open your eyes and do the right thing. The era of condemning anybody is over. But this is the time we talk to our people to begin to know the truth, to begin to do the right thing. Try and use your brain. When somebody tells you something, when somebody is trying to make some projection to you, Try to find out where are they coming from, where are they heading to? Because you see, this thing will be the one that will suffer it. We are the ones suffering it already. He that first an ant-infested firewood should wait for the visitation of the lizard. So run away from propaganda. Develop this pure heart. Those of you who had the privilege of being close to the government of the day, speak to them. Let's say the whole of South and the whole Eastern region, South and Southeast inclusive. If you ask me, who is the leader they have in the current dispensation? I've seen only one, and that is Alesoti of Abia State. But I'm very sure he's going to bow down for Nnamdi Kanu very soon. Ochina Sanwo-Olu, all of Abia State will terrorize him very soon. But I don't know as Alesoti as a soft man. And I hope he will not pave in for them. It's one of the Igbo men I hold in high esteem. But the yet, including Delta State and River State, I don't know who they are, but we are observing them. Are we observing them to remove them? We are observing them to guide them if they will listen. We are observing them to speak to them like this. Peradventure, they will heed to what you say. Most of you don't know. You think they listen to what I say, what George ONYIBE says. All of them listen. All of them listen. All of them, 90% of them, they know me. But they don't know me. Because when they show your face, you think the face you are seeing is my face? Show your face. Why I go show you my face? Facebook have been asking me, I prove that you are not a robot. That is why I'm proving to Facebook I'm not a robot. So, if other governor, I think Enugu state governor is like living up to expectation. I hope he don't pave into the shenanigan introduced by certain touts called themselves agitators. I can't come out and fault David Umahi, knowing the role he played as a progressive-minded individual. I can't fault Okowa, my governor, knowing that the meeting he have with all the political elite, with Nwike, the 5G governors, with the governors of South, I know what the outcome become. The same people who betrayed themselves were the people who come on me and say, hey, Okowa betrayed and followed Atiku. Why did Nwike support Tinubu against his party? Why did Nwike against his party work against PDP? And if we had a platform where we actually participate in politics, why was Peter Obi not supported? The shameless people I see from our region now, people who are there, oh, Peter Obi, go and get your mandate. The case has been resolved already. All those ones, they are deceiving you. Come to think about it, which of the politicians in the Southeast gave their support to Peter Obi? In fact, some of your elites, let's look at, first of all, Chief Raphael Owazurike. He was the first to hit the street of Imo State with his boys, endorsing, what did you call him, Yahaya Bello. But his brother was there. And then you took the money and go and pay Benin people. Social media world, they deceive you now. You gave Oraka them money so that Yoruba will give credibility to them, or Hausa will give credibility to them. If you be Igbo man, now you be the reason we they exist. And when you lower your standard, we they only survive because they no one treat us with iron hand, so that we no go feel unite. But the will of God must be done. So that time they give them money, go, oh, obedient, very intelligent. Oh, he went to the church. Oh, he's in Chatham House. Oh, you have 100 certificates. Oh, you no get sense. There is a conspiracy in the idea of one Nigeria. But it is fruitless and useless to begin to put blame now. Because those who emerge as angels, whiter than white, have been discovered, have been found to be more corrupt than the system they fight against. And now what does it require? The situation requires that not only should we develop defense mechanism, but of course we must have this ability to improvise as of when necessary. This is time to improvise. This is time to improvise. And then I retrace my words again. I wish Nigeria will do the right thing. I wish Nigeria will stop borrowing money to enrich themselves. They borrow the money, they put it in foreign accounts. And then they come and sell fuel that will have for us in high prices. They borrow money and they destroy NEPA. They borrow money, and one day you will wake up, you belong to China property. And some people from our region don't have sense. They were celebrating. Oh, look at this Igbo girl, Oko Polytechnic. She graduated with a unique color. What is the graduation? What is the uniqueness about her graduation? She can now speak China. Atoro. I wept. Most of you don't know, Chimobi Okafor Waka Waka Biafra, pausing by Nnamdi Kanu and his stout, was actually a Chinese student in Oko Polytechnic. So I can speak China without going to their university or going to China. Mad people. So you are not unique because you can speak China. I swear, if any Oyibo man can speak Abo, and then I know I'm a bunch of shit. And then imagine Oyibo man. Of course, there are some that can speak because there are Chinese people in Abo. They've been there since before I was born. They're still there when I left Abo. They have a plastic industry. They speak Abo. But you know, all the time they stay there. They have been in Abo for more than 56 years. As of the last time I asked of. Those people refuse to marry Abo people. They go and bring their children, bring their wives, send them back. They don't associate with us. Learning to speak Abo was to be able to do business in Abo. Just like some of you analyzing my grammar. Can the most brilliant man in London speak Abo? Can any Chinese man speak Igbo? Is there any American who can speak Okwane? Our science industrial, he cannot speak China. That one I'll tell you. Has he built the River Niger? And then when they are borrowing all this money they are borrowing, one day your daughter will now tell you in Japanese or Chinese language. You know, you used to call them Ikwere because when Oyibo come to take over their land, a man called Port Harcourt come to take over their land. They didn't hear English because somebody sold them. But there was Igbo man who could hear English. He understand English. So Igbo man will say, tell them I am Mr. Port Harcourt. This land belongs to me. Then the Igbo man will say, Mona, also na ahaya bo Port Harcourt, na ozugo anya. Igbo people say, when did this one here? They will say, no, it's this man. He interprets. So the era we are entering now, all this boro most of you are hiding is that you will wake up one day, you will now hear that somebody will come to Anambra, for instance, headquarters of Chinese university. I didn't know why they didn't take this Chinese university to Kano, Kaduna, Maiduguri, and Abuja. I didn't know why this headquarters of Chinese university is not in Lagos, Atoro, everywhere. And then you will come out as ONYIBE. Then China will say, yes, the whole of Chanja market belongs to us in Chinese. Then your daughter, who has been properly recolonized, will now tell you, he said, but when did we sell? They now remind you, boro. Why can't our Nigeria, our beloved one Nigeria, our loving one Nigeria, why can't they tell us what are the collaterals? Some of you will die of high BP. But two wrongs cannot make a right. Why? There is a program mindset of those who rule us. Those of us being ruled must get to a level where we begin to point out certain inequalities, certain things that are not acceptable. But what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We can't fold our hand. Now, if you must save Nigeria, if you must save your region, first of all, delete all the garbage. Most people think I'm angry. I'm not angry. Most people think it's revenge. You know, I just discovered that you must address truth is naked for a reason. You must come out naked and openly. You can't tell me the relationship between the unseen Yoruba man and the unseen Igbo man. I know the relationship between these three people that make Nigeria. I know the role they play. But I can't dwell on that. I believe it is possible to get a better Nigeria if that is what we want. It's achievable. But you can't use the same process that divide Nigeria to think you unite Nigeria. Thunder fire you. I'm saying my people are marginalized. You're telling me, no, you got to preach one Nigeria. Then stop the oppression and see if we will not champion it. You can't tell me you need Biafra when you are worse than the Nigerian we want to separate from. And tell me to support your Biafra. Thunder fire you. And a lot of animals are out there. Oh, Igbo unite, Igbo movement, Igbo loving, Igbo. They are the people selling you from behind. No, watching now the Kano to further separate Igbo people, he went to build a platform called Namen. And do you have sense? Namen, uniting Igbo. That one went about raising dust that will cause more division. Make on account unite us now, Atoro everywhere. Get it? Nobody will be allowed to sell the next generation under our watch. If I never give you mouth, now be say, I believe say, what you they do them ignorantly. When I don't confirm, say you be confirmed wicked man, you be idiot. I go let you know, say, I am your destiny and I'm your doom. Let's be sincere. Let's come back home. When I mean come back home, I didn't say leave Lagos, leave Kaduna. When I mean come back home, you were angry. And then you want to settle the dispute. It is expected that you calm down. So when I say let's come back home, I mean let us calm down. And ask question. Why is our community not developing? He point out that it's your governors, political elites. Elites, why are we not progressing? You find out that, oh, it is the federal government. And the members of the National Assembly will be held responsible. And then after which, we can choose to run on the offense. But there is no platform to do that. Because before anybody enter office, they don't tell you say, nah, I'm robber, nah, criminal, nah, evil, nah, stranger. And so we shoot ourselves in the feet. This is just my message this morning. Our people need to come back home. What are we going to do so that our place will be fine? And believe me, whatever I am doing here, it's not just to talk and talk. There is need to sensitize our youth, empower the next generation, neutralize them from all this toxic, and let them redefine their life. A Nigerian child, Igbo Pekin, Yoruba Pekin, Hausa Pekin, cannot just wake up with hatred. Hating who you have not met before or known. I watch a program on the TV. And then a white boy saw a black guy. And this black guy is loving, enlightened, educated. And the white guy starts shouting, gangster, gangster, gangster. The mommy ran and came. I said, what is it? The mommy saw the black guy. He said, move away from my son. I've called the police on you. Move away from my son. And this is a boy too small to know who is a gangster. Now, the parents, the mother have planted garbage inside that child. And now he has to react. You know, computer analysts, you say garbage in, garbage out. A Yoruba child is born naturally to hate Igbo. Hate you, Igbo. Hate you, nonsense. Hate you. But the Yoruba child does not know. You've not done them any wrong. But the new generation of Yoruba must remove that toxic from the system. At least now the Kano succeeded in telling us how bad Fulani are. How bad Fulani are. And if Fulani are in charge, as truly they are in charge, why is Hausa not complaining? So we are the one crying more than the bereaved. If that land belonged to the Hausa, and Hausa allow Fulani to enjoy such liberty in their own land, why are we the one crying more than bereaved? You plunging hate inside your children. And then you still turn around, you plunge hate into us. In my last broadcast, somebody made a comment there and said, this one you are calling Undibo. Are you Undibo? And I answered, I said, no, I'm not Undibo. Because that idiot, I can't be Undibo with that idiot if he's Undibo. But somebody will pick it and screenshot it and say, look at George, he said it's not Undibo. Thunder fire all of you. Now when they claim Undibo, no, now get Undibo. Make I remind you again, for the sake of your children, my name is ONYIBE. And my village name in Abo is Utowiri. Oweri, not Imo State, in Delta State. But the rebuilding now is tell your children why Igbos in other regions refuse to agree that they are Igbo. That's why I say come back home. My people will say, if you want to be beautiful, if you want to be fine, start from the home. You can't be an idiot at home and then you are beautiful outside. Or neither can you come inside and wear me clothes, you bring me outside, you naked me. Now we have two options. First of all is to come back home, refresh our memory. Let us reboot. And then the second one is those who are handling Nigeria. Do the right thing now. Majority of Nigeria may be afraid because you will use the government capacity to oppress us. But it will not be too long. Your children will fight you. It will not be too long. Those you think you are protecting will turn against you. Because this injustice, this disease is afflicting all of us already. I'll bring it to the end here. Don't forget our topic. Let us be realistic and not be insensitive. Two major words. Be realistic, don't be insensitive. But then let me go to my wall and see if there is any name that cannot tout on this platform. Any of them? Let's see. Who do I have here? Mystic Uzo. He say, shut up, idiot. You are a bloody liar. Yes, Mystic, your name shows who you are. I'm a bloody liar. But this lie is what will save you at the end of the day. It's Igbo person.